Another episode of the Mixed Blend, where we're going to be podcasting. Tonight's mixture, we got, the face of the podcast.
Fuck yourself.
We got,
Sam Sharon.
Julia.
The other face of the podcast, Sam Sharon.
Two-Face. We got, and we're going to have guest speakers with us tonight. We have...
Cassie.
And we have...
Ashley.
Yay.
She's
so
excited. She's so excited to be here.
Yeah.
First
topic. Favorite moment of 2016. Sam.
Pass.
That's bullshit.
It's a tough question.
I think my favorite moment, because there's more than one, that's the thing. Because, there's, my family life with my son. We've got really good moments, but... one of my favorite moments is actually starting this podcast with Darius and Blackwell, because it finally gave me something to do, and it finally got all of us to fucking just hang. Every back in the day when we tried to make plans, we'd be like, "Yeah, you want to hang out?" and then we just.
You guys? No, I can't imagine.
I know, right?
The amount of times I've had a sitter to do a podcast and then just goes dead.
Nah.
Never happens.
I don't remember any of that.
People have lives.
But no, that's starting the podcast because it's something fun that I was really interested in. I'd say that's one of my favorite moments.
Mine's going to have to be when Harambe died.
That's your favorite?
Moment? Because of the meme.
He had it coming.
Just because...
This guy.
Well, favorite moment from 2016, it's probably going to be my son's birthday, but
That's what I'm saying. I had my family life, and then, I just wanted
outside of that, Harambe memes.
they were great.
They made my dick's been out, bro.
Dick's been out.
I think my favorite moment was, I'm not even going to lie, it's going to sound a little weird, but the whole, white against black thing, I was, really into that.
I was, too.
It's like when NWA was beefing with each other.
or Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah. I was just but, from my perspective, it was me and my white friends watching 2016 be racist to each other. And we're eating popcorn what are they talking about? Our lives matter.
Podcast matters.
I don't know. I just get intrigued. I get intrigued by stupidity, yeah, in a weird way.
It really is. That's what it is.
You like to watch it. It probably, a lot of people might sound bad when they say it, and they might think that, but watching stupidity is amusing.
Yeah.
It's like going to the zoo without
So,
leaving
you know
your
how many
house.
videos?
Exactly.
This sounds really terrible, but you know how many videos I've fucking watched of the Black Lives Matters and All Lives Matter just blocking up the freeway, and that one person not today, motherfucker, and just run them over? Because I'm all I gotta get to work. You deserve it.
That's
It's
a
a
highway.
fucking freeway.
Yeah.
I bet none of these people give a shit.
Yeah, your lives do matter until you're in the middle of a fucking freeway
I'll tell you
at
right
9
now.
o'clock in the morning.
I'd have drove through them niggas screaming Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Kinda.
But
Half white.
hey, but I gotta get to
Weird
work.
predicament.
Yeah.
I've always wondered that. Me and Stefan talk about it all the time, and he's like, well, Stefan likes to argue. No offense to Stefan. Hey,
Love
shout
you,
out to the
bro.
homie Stefan. Hey, what's up, nigga? But Stefan would always be like, if he was like, when the light skin and dark skin of 2014 era happened, where I don't know if you guys were involved in this, but light skin and dark skin people were beefing with each other real hard. And Stefan was like, I just really don't know what side I am. It's like, come on, nigga, you know you with them dark niggas. As much as you want to be light, you would.
There was that. I remember the one time that he didn't really know you. This involves that where he talked about how dark he is. He was just like he was at his house and except for me and mine.
Sense
of
offense taken.
Love you, man.
It's all love, bro.
Yeah. But they were playing Fight Night, and Darius was serving him and just kept calling him Eddie Murphy, Wesley Snipes. Just thought of the blackest people, but just kept calling him that. And I've never seen Stefan just go, "This your boy."
This your homie? Racist ass black
nigga.
Like,
I've never laughed so hard in my life.
It's just watching. I don't know. It's just maybe because our group, for that matter, is a real diverse group when you really break it down. well, me and Ashley don't look like two people would probably be together. That's like one of the things. You know, Julia.
Her face says it all.
Well, it is. You know, a lot of people. We do. I told her all the time. I was like, when we first started dating, I was like, wait till you start to notice what it's like having a black boyfriend.
No,
People have no
Wait,
problem
never-
assuming Julia and I are together.
Yeah, it
happened
happens
just
literally
today.
today.
you know,
Well, it's
I've
like-
dealt with this dilemma for so long. You know, I just gotta look past it.
Well, no, yeah. So it's just like, so she starts to notice it, like, you know, old people, like,
Yeah.
or you know, whatever, and then, you know, got me and Sam don't look like two people would probably hang out, and you know, this the whole group's diverse.
We actually-
Julia,
That actually has
Julia, I'm
happened.
pretty sure deep down hates me, but
Dude,
most people
Aw.
do.
me?
What are you gonna do about it?
I hate you.
No, I hate him.
Oh.
But no, yeah. So being so diverse amongst ourselves, watching people, and it's so, in a weird way, like to use the metaphor, so black and white. So I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Watching it, it's just so stupid to me to go. This whole thing is just so ignorant.
Well, yeah.
And then one person turns it into race, the next person turns it into America. Like at one point in time, America was like white again, and I was like, wait, like there was a moment where I was like, hey, hold on, okay.
But
Because niggas thought they was gonna have slaves by now.
that's
There's
what,
some
like-
white dude who's like,
Bro.
I thought we was gonna have slaves by now.
Yeah, true. You know, there's some dude in Texas.
Pissed off that the 100-day plan don't have slavery somewhere in there.
You know what he's
but-
saying? Fucking Northerners, man.
But no, that's why I don't get wrapped up in politics. You know, I don't really care who's it going to be and stuff like that, just because of the people who I'm around.
Yeah.
So watching just stupid acts amuses me.
Well, dude, I've watched so many videos of the Steve Wilkos show because of the stupidity of that.
Hey man,
First
he was
off,
bouncing on
Steve
Jerry.
Wilkos.
First off, Steve Wilkos is my dude.
I love him. I used to watch him all the time before I had cable, before I worked at Media
He's a fat Vin Diesel.
Fat Vin Diesel.
Perfect.
He's
description,
like
actually.
bald Steven Seagal. Take it easy. He's not Vin Diesel quality. Fat or not. Fat Vin Diesel is still Vin Diesel.
But the reason why I like that show is because there'll be those dudes who's all like, he's like, we gave you the lie detector test 10 times, and you failed every one. They're like, nah, man. No,
Good thing
still
you
wrong.
won.
And it's all like, you're a fucking idiot.
Get off
Before we
my
go any further, though,
stage.
shout out to Jimmy, who actually commented on the speaker app.
Oh, thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy. He said, "Oh."
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right, now get off.
But I don't know, Julia, favorite moment?
My favorite
Meeting
moment.
us.
Well, it was actually, I graduated college. That was a pretty big deal for me. Like,
True.
Sounds a piece of
True
shit.
sweet.
Congrats.
Jesus. No, it was pretty awesome. And then honestly, like again, it's kind of cheesy, but meeting you guys at like Chambers and stuff, like that was pretty cool because I was doing school, and like even though where we were working all together was like insane, like it was so fucking retarded, but like I don't know, it was like just. It was still a nice escape from all of the other terrible bullshit going on behind me, like when I would come into work, and it's just like, I don't know. It was just nice
We
to
had our own bullshit.
exactly, but then but we would like laugh about it
Yeah.
and shit, you know, like you know what I mean, like so it's just, and that's what I find fun
I'm
is
not
that there's so
involved
much
in
shit
this
that like
moment.
goes on. Sorry, but then I met you, it led to meeting
Okay.
you, yeah. Like it's just like I don't know. We've talked about it a million times about like laughing to like feel better, and honestly 2016 I'm one of those people. Like this year fucking sucked for me. I hated it a lot, and I'm so
flourished
over
that
it. Well, fuck you.
Walk on.
My garbage
Thank
year.
you.
I'm really
To the
glad
top.
it's over. But anyway, it's just like I don't know, like those happy moments. I'm really clinging to this year. I really liked those. And
I don't mind
meeting
sharing that
good
shit.
people and going down to Dallas, Texas to visit Cassie, and when I hadn't seen her in a year, we hadn't seen each other for literally a year.
Yeah. It was,
What was your favorite moment, Cassie?
probably when I met all
Darius.
of. Ooh, it's up there. I can
Right now.
This
Thanks,
for him.
Cassie.
It's still happening. I can't say it. Probably when I met all of my friends in Texas, because like I moved to Texas because I moved down there with a boyfriend of mine and it didn't work, so I moved to Dallas and I had no friends. But there's like a friend that I knew from like 5 years ago when I went to college, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Nothing. Like I don't have a life now." And he's like, "I have friends." So I showed up to this random ass house party full of like 15 people that I don't know, and they're like, "You know Todd?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Awesome!" And they just like instantly,
Todd.
yeah, no, it
Hot Todd.
He was Hot Todd for a while.
He was Hot Todd for a while there. That was my nickname for him.
And now he's
dude.
now he's got
Shout out to Hot Todd.
now he's got what we call
Julia,
Todd
you know we
Todd.
don't like you talking about men.
God
We're
damn.
gonna have to.
Let's meet
about
Todd.
that.
And we'll assess this.
Todd's right here, right now. Bring out
Todd comes out fucking
I've never met Todd.
Steve Wilkes.
Anyway, yeah.
Ashley?
It's being with you. It's alright.
Aw.
Yeah, I usually have that effect on women. That's
Sentiment.
That fucking hurt me.
what happens when you date these real niggas.
Oh my god.
It's all right to meet them.
It's a little rocky at first, but it smooths out over time.
It's been an interesting year with you.
I'll take what I can get.
But you wouldn't take it back.
But I wouldn't take it back.
Drinking barefoot out of a bottle. Being degraded.
Hey man, we sure involved.
But I love you so much.
Yeah. I would too.
Love you too, man.
Thanks, Sam.
For real.
I love me too.
Oh god.
I got a lot more Kanye this year.
I'm working on it.
Oh my god.
One quick side note, I just feel like saying, because you were just talking about the whole Black Lives Matter thing or whatever, and then you brought up Biggie and Tupac, and I was literally just having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I think it'd be interesting, like...
That's like a 45-minute rant. It's
I promise it's not. No, but I just, like, I was thinking about how it's interesting that, like, I mean, personally... I will admit that, like, rap isn't the only thing I listen to, but I think, like, what's on the radio and everything like that is absolute trash. And, like, I think that, like, the idea of Tupac and, like, Biggie and that whole, like, I don't know, finding strength from, like, where you're actually coming from, like, from the streets instead of, like, getting it from, like, look at all this shit I have. Like, people can't identify with that. And I don't know. I think music's really influential on, like, society as a whole. And I just feel like this generation needed a Tupac, basically, is the short version
His
of
name's
this.
J.
Like,
Cole. Go
is
ahead
he?
and download his album.
J. Cole?
For your
I'm
eyes
telling you
only.
right now.
He,
That
oh
shit.
my god, it's made me listen
He's-
to that
I
album.
will. No, seriously, I'm
He's
I'm
good.
on my kick right now.
Stefan,
where I'm
if you
listening.
were listening, you can comment and preach this. He
It's
is.
actually a pretty good album.
Is he?
Him and
I'm
Kendrick.
So
not
it's
gonna
J.
lie.
Cole?
The way it is that the songs that he dropped a song called False Prophets that recently came out, and it talks about how Kanye West is slowly but surely like falling into this like hole of craziness, and instead of helping him to be the person that he was when he first came out, because when Kanye first came out, everybody was fucking with Kanye.
College
I
Dropout
just
shit.
downloaded his albums like
So
today to my new phone.
Everybody was fucking
I love
Kanye when he
Kanye.
first
Old
came out,
Kanye.
and then now,
Yeah, old Kanye.
but
Old
you know,
Kanye.
old Kanye, you was bumping his stuff, and now new Kanye is almost more of a fad thing that you watch. But he's like going.
He's a Kardashian.
He's going insane, and
He's a
and
Kardashian.
nobody's helping him.
But he can't help. He can't handle being a Kardashian. Like,
But
and it's just like
but the point of it is that either way, whoever he's becoming or whatever it is that people are encouraging it instead of helping it bring. And then the second verse, his friend's a rapper, and he wants his friend to better himself because he drops good music. Who was Wale, by the way? I don't know if anybody listened to him, but he talks about how he's so wrapped up in what critics think of his music that it lowers his standards for the music he can produce, and it disgusts them. So then the third verse, he talks about how he's both his last album and this album all went platinum with no features, and he talks about, I make songs that people want to hear, and I don't give a fuck who likes it and who doesn't like it. I give it straight to you, which is the truth, and that's how it should be, because that's what it used to be. It used to be a struggle to put music out. It was real hard. Like, you had to, like Benny Siegel said, you got to knock on people's doors and beg them to listen to your CD. Now you can just put some shit on YouTube and end up being famous because somebody thinks you're trendy or something like that. But what the song ultimately leads to makes sense. So this last album, his friend died, and he dedicated the whole album
To his daughter.
to his friend's daughter. And the last song, For Your Eyes, is a song talking about how your dad basically was like a nigga and did all this like mad niggerish shit, but ultimately he was a real nigga because he loved you. And he dropped that album and it went platinum for his dead friend. Like, you don't get no more real than that. And
Well, not only that, but the She's Mine is poems
Yeah.
that his friend wrote him
Really?
about his daughter before
yeah,
he died.
I really wanna listen.
so
It's emotional.
he drops
Yeah,
he
I
drops
wanna
this
listen to
emotional
that.
ass album,
J. Cole,
and
again,
it
that's what
goes
we're talking about?
and it goes fucking platinum, and nobody's doing that anymore. Nobody's listening. Like Nas drops these types of albums, they don't go platinum nowhere because everybody goes, Nas is old. You listen to Little whoever, And then you got all these J. Cole albums, but he's been consistent that way. And he talks about all kinds of stuff. He talks about how when he got famous, he told himself back in the day he would never buy shit. And then he's like, and then I got famous and I bought a chain. Just must be, you know. And then he just talks about real shit. He was in a Beyonce video and he drove up in a Bugatti. Then he talks in the next song about how that Bugatti's rented. And how he didn't fix his teeth when he got famous because...
Crooked teeth.
Yeah.
Crooked smile.
And he has a crooked smile. And he's like, if it got me here, why would I have to fix my teeth?
Right.
To put up to the
Well, that's
standards.
why-
So he grows his hair out. And then he doesn't wear, like, you don't let niggas put makeup on him or nothing like that. It's as real as it comes. And I just respect that, ultimately.
Well, that's why, like, I'll relate it to Big Crit.
But Crit's, yeah, he's the same way, too.
Yeah, he first out this song, The Vent, had me in fucking tears. But he got dropped from his record label because he still just wanted to create the music that he wanted to make instead of what they were telling him to.
You gonna finish that? Or do you want some more?
It's been a great year with it.
So,
Yeah, it's just that...
You need to listen to that.
I will look up J. Cole because that does sound like, because it's all about like lyrics and stuff like that. That's why
Well, not even
that's
that-
my thing with Tupac is just he's a great lyricist and like
Well,
it's
he's a great
real
lyricist,
deep.
but he got famous. He
But
had
he's
all this
still real.
flashy
He's
shit
just-
too, but he made music.
well, and that's where I'm saying
just
like that's where
J.
the
Cole
empowerment
did.
comes from. Like that's where just like then you look at like Black Lives Matter and all this kind of stuff, and again it just feels like there's such a divide between like what's like I don't know like an aspiration to that like compared to what I just don't know. I look at somebody like Tupac and it's something
Well,
that
lyrics.
like if you have the talent,
Yeah.
it's achievable. Not I need $1 million and my parents have to be able to like take me places and do things like that, or I have to have a really nice camera to fucking set up and put like you said like put shit out on YouTube, whatever.
J. Cole, mom's house got foreclosed that he grew up in. He went there, bought it, opened it up, turned it into like a tutoring school for young black children. Real nigga. That's savage.
Just savage.
Or the first thing he did, he goes back home, buys the house he grows up in that they foreclosed, and the song apparently, which she probably knows word for word now because I listen to it so much. He talks, yeah, that song's so fucking amazing. It's not even funny. But
What is it?
it's called Apparently.
Okay.
It'll change your
I'll
life.
play it
All
after
right.
the podcast.
But yeah, so he buys this home, and then he opens it up, and then invites people in his neighborhood into the home, and then lets them preview the album before it comes out, just because. Or he'll go. He's been on tour. He was literally on tour for 2 years just to please his fans. It's like he's all about the people. It's like Bob Marley, just whatever you guys want, I'll just give it to you, bro. Fuck whatever the label says. And then he's signed to Jay-Z, and then he gets signed to Jay-Z, and Jay-Z just gives him his own label, like. And then Jay-Z gives him his chain, like, you're the next big thing right now because it's getting crazy. Without it being so, like, J. Cole's first album, he had 2 radio hits. And he hasn't had another radio
Talking
hit.
about the Cole World?
Yeah, he hasn't had a radio hit since.
Yeah.
Because he said that, and in the song I Let Nas Down, his favorite rapper, he talks about how he was forced to put those songs out and how it killed
And
him.
then Nas hit him up and said,
And then
"Your
Nas
shit."
did a remix to his song and talked about how he's passed down the torch to him. It's so real. It doesn't make
It's
sense.
so real. It's a whole saga.
It's like it just
It's like
doesn't.
Dragon Ball Z, but,
But
like,
that's what it is.
nice.
And then so Kendrick Lamar would almost be kind of like the Tupac-ish of it with the gangster rap, and he's infused. He infused jazz, classic rock, and hip hop, and made it a style. In 2016, all the music that's been put out with all these old samples, like these 70s samples and stuff like that, is all Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar dropped an album called To Pimp a Butterfly, and everybody thought this album's going to be corny because it's going to have jazz and it's going to have a bunch of classic rock beats sampled on it. And then he did it, and then he infused it and made like a jazz rock funk. And now everybody wants to do it.
Jazz
Bruno
rock.
Mars has been doing it all year. Everybody's been dropping these songs that have been like it, and it's based off
Side
just...
note, 24K Magic is the shit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So
thank
it's
you.
putting culture
Like-
together. That's the thing. Is
Yeah.
he's doing all this to put culture together, and he's from Compton. So now he's got Bloods and Crips uniting. He's got he dropped a pair of Reeboks. Reeboks allowed him to do a shoe where one says blue on the back and one says red. So one's a Crip sneaker, one's a Blood sneaker, and it's on a Reebok line. That's how influential he is. So he's doing all that
really
for
crazy.
music, and then it gets overshadowed because some dude has red hair with braids and his name's Lil Yachty, and everybody's like, this is the trend, everybody's dancing now, and it's weird, it just sucks to see how positive music can make somebody, and instead people want to put guns into a video and do this a bunch of times, and
It's funny you
it ruins it.
You bring that up because I was actually going to relate that to Does it sound kind of racist? But it's pretty sad when a lot of the rappers nowadays don't have fucking lyrics, but then this white dude named Lil Dicky's doing comedy rap.
Exactly.
Lil Dicky's
hard.
fucking
But Little
great.
Dicky, but it's also like the context of it. And I brought it up before when I wasn't at the podcast, but I was messaging you guys about, like, he's the example of just, like, hip-hop is about being real. Like, it's about the lyrics just being true to, like, whatever you know. So when you get up there and, like, it's your first fucking single, and you're like, yeah, I got all these bitches, I got, like, this bullshit shit that you hear on the radio, like, nobody
Triggered something,
relates
I'm
to
sorry.
that. Like, and it can be catchy and it can be fun, but, like, it's a different feel when it's just, like, Lil Dicky is a nerdy white Jew, and that's what he raps about, and he does it well. And the context that he puts in there, it's clever, and I don't know, it's just, real is real, and that's what hip-hop is about, and that's what a lot of music is about, what good music is about, and it's just like, I don't know.
I just like the fact that, like, in his professional rapper song, he straight up said, he's like, I saved up my bar mitzvah money so I could get my first studio time, and, like, that's what he fucking did.
Oh, yeah. It's all over that.
Yeah, it's just, and it's the same with all types of music, and it all falls back into more of a classical thing because it was more of a struggle. I mean, people who listen to rock, you got to listen to them preach about how everybody back then was shitting on these new people now. Maybe it's the same way. Maybe it's a little biased, but then I start to think of it, and I go, well, I wasn't that age when that shit comes out, and that's the shit I listen to every day, so I'm not really biased. It's just, I don't know, I have a different perspective for it. And I'm not saying like to listen to new music back, because I got a couple new songs that are like catchy and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's
like
some
that
good.
Panda. Oh, bumped that Panda
What?
the other day.
Panda.
I bumped The Weeknd's new album like crazy.
Oh, I love
so.
The Weeknd. No, like, and it's,
42.
I mean, that's why I always say, like,
On his
I
new
like...
record, bro. Don't. It's fucking. It goes out.
But when it comes to music, me and Cassie have had this discussion before about, like, it's not about genres. Like, yeah, I have a genre that, like, I'll go to or that, like, I'll, like, particularly say it's, like, my favorite, but, like, you can enjoy literally anything in any genre. Like, if you feel like dancing and the song, like, just makes you want to fucking dance, you're gonna like it. Like, in that moment. I don't know. I think it's cool.
I kind of agree with that to an extent.
I literally don't know a single, like, genre that I don't like something in, and it just depends on, like,
I hate country.
my mood. I like some country.
There's a couple of songs here and there.
Exactly. Like, I wouldn't
But that
say I'm a
doesn't make
country
the-
fan. I'm not going to go to, like, the big country bash shit that happens.
But that don't
But,
make
like,
the genre good.
but I think that there's things in the genre
Shit.
that I respect about it. I like old style
Tastes like
country like
slow
my grandfather
roasted
used to
dog
listen
asshole.
to. He used to listen to old style country and, like, Elvis Presley, like, gospel and stuff like that. And those storytelling, like, the
But
way that they do it, like, you
would
think
you-
about sitting out, like, in the middle of nowhere, nobody around for miles, everybody gathering around, you're telling a story with music.
said
That's
El-
country to me. Like,
You
said
said Elvis. Elvis wouldn't be counted as country. Though.
no, I was including that in, like, what he was listening to.
like
I said
a-
gospel.
I was literally asking because I don't know.
Oh, Elvis did, like,
I know he was like
Elvis Presley.
what is
Yeah,
it,
no.
blues rock. Whatever?
No, my
Gospel
grandpa used to listen to
thing.
his gospel stuff, where it's like him and like a
Yeah,
choir of
gospel
people
stuff.
behind.
He
Oh,
stole
yeah,
Negroes, bro.
He still-
He stole it. I can't respect that nigga.
Honestly, dude, I just hate the genres that they have these days. Like, it's not, this isn't rock, this is punk, rock, alternative, hip-hop, and it's like, no. No.
Hey, I'm that way. I'll just qualify it for what it is. But I mean, everybody's genre based. You can't. I mean,
You just can't do that. I don't think.
yeah, you can because
Well, there's certain.
that's
types-
like saying, well, I listen to literally like if it's good, I'll listen to it. I listen to a lot of weird shit at work that people don't assume I listen to. But if you ask me, or if you guess what my favorite genre is, it's probably gonna be hip hop. Because Sam's favorite genre is gonna be rock, and he listens.
I say most people don't expect mine to be metal.
But either way,
What do
but
you
that's the
think
thing
mine
that
is?
I'm saying is that it's
don't
it's,
know.
it's just
Yeah,
it's
no, I
just
get what you're saying. 'Cause
yeah.
people would say I listen
You
to
know
rock,
what I
but
mean?
then they
You gotta
get in my car and turn up Ludacris.
But I
gotta-
literally had a guy tonight. I went to the Sprint store to get a new phone, and he, for whatever, he was like flirting with me. But he like literally said like
Elvis stole from Chuck Berry. Thank you, Stefan. He knows what's up.
I wouldn't. I have Chuck Berry on my phone. But
Yeah.
he like talked about
The
how
bro Elvis.
he was like talking about like some kind of music or something like that. He's like, I wouldn't have taken you for somebody who listens to whatever. And I was like, what would you have taken me for? And he's like, looks at me, he's like, country, like maybe dance, pop. And I'm like, gross, no. And I was like slowly, I was reacting, and so then he just kept like throwing out genres until I eventually like made a joke or whatever. But even then, I don't know.
We're not seeing gangbangers on the corner and going, Celine Dion.
It'd be the thing you would least expect. But that's the thing about, I think about the small people in the podcast, especially me and you, because we've talked about this a lot. But I expect, like, So for anybody if I did see Darius, I'm like, I bet he'd just be bumping Temptations, like old school R&B. Like that's what I would just assume. I wouldn't think they just listen to gangster hip hop.
Exclusively.
I'm pretty sure I was at a party.
Hardcore gangster rap.
Like I'm pretty sure I was at a party and I think some guy like was playing a gangster song. I'm like went like that to Darius, like I did this for you. I'm pretty sure this happened.
It has happened. It is a shitty feeling.
You're like, no.
You just can't get, it's like when people come up to me. I was literally in a business meeting when I worked for the laser tag. And this guy stood up. I watched him shake everybody's hand. And when he got to me, he went for like the pounded. And I was like, for real, bro? Like in my head, like, this nigga, I pounded it.
He said,
I ain't gonna leave a nigga hanging, but still. Yeah, but still, I was just
he
like...
He said, my man.
Yeah, like, he gave me that.
He said, my man.
And it was just kind of like...
He really?
No, he was like... he went, oh, yeah, hey. And went like that. And I was like, what the fuck's that supposed to mean? Because I wasn't the youngest one there. You know what I mean? I was the darkest one there. And I'm not that dark. Which is, like, still, like... I don't know. But, so, if anybody's, like you were saying, with the genre thing, if anybody's getting classified or anything like that, it just makes sense to me. It's understandable. I understand where it comes from, especially someone who blurts out stereotypes like it's fucking dropping hotcakes. But yeah, it's based off what you see in certain shit. Like, for instance, Sam right now doesn't look like he listens to metal. Sam right now looks like he listens to Green Day. When it's not, I'm not making fun of him, but it's true because when I see people who listen, like the classification is like either that type of style, just kind of well groomed with that little bit of punk rock face to it. You know what I mean? It's like I got the nice buttoned up flannel that goes all the way up, but it's not tucked in. So and I got the glasses with the hair brushed out to the side, and that's just what is the type of things that you're gonna expect. And the reason you guys laugh is because it's right.
Well, yeah, no.
And then you guys find out that I was in a fucking metal band for 5 years.
But that's what makes humans intriguing.
But what's interesting to that is that I would always base it on clothing. Like when you bring up like I would never look at a person and base like what they listen. Like I wouldn't assume Darius listens to rap because he's black, but like I might because he's wearing.
It's because
like,
I'm black.
It's what you're wearing. No, so you just described what he's wearing to describe like what you think he would listen to.
Yeah,
is
but
that
if a black
true?
guy was still wearing that, I'm assuming Childish Gambino. See, it's not the clothes.
I wouldn't
assume Childish, but I would assume rap.
I know a black guy who dresses like that, and I know he doesn't listen to rap.
Yeah, but that's the person. But that's the person you know.
I've known him for all.
So she has a real example.
Hold on.
Yeah,
wrong.
Hold on.
Example doesn't
Perfect
classify
example.
everyone.
You met Stefan, right?
I did meet Steph.
He was the guitarist for my metal band.
Okay, so I wouldn't have guessed him with metal necessarily, but I wouldn't.
But he's known him that whole life.
Well, but also,
Exactly.
I mean, musicians to me also are a little different because
That dude's favorite band is Trivium, which is my favorite band.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Stefan, love you, bro. So if you would, you saw him.
Yeah.
Nah, he doesn't look like he listens
It's
to
just but
He listens
I'm not saying it's about race or anything. But it's just you do have
It plays a
the
factor.
genre does stick to you based on how you look.
Right.
Well, people wouldn't assume that like I listen to NWA or Tupac or anything.
you-
I actually do
Probably.
because you'd be that white girl trying to get away with saying nigga in your car.
But you're not supposed to. You're not supposed
It
to.
doesn't count if it's
I'm
legal.
not supposed to what?
You're not supposed to look like that. Because if you look like you listen to NWA, you'd be wearing a do rag and
You wouldn't be in this
you would dress
podcast.
like you would dress like DeBrat. You're not. So that's
Or
the. But
Eve.
that's the thing I'm saying is that
Eve. Oh,
that's
like Little
what
Pop Prince?
that's what's supposed to make life interesting.
Yeah.
It is. It's like
When you get hit with the
it's like when you're at
unexpected.
a wedding and then you look at your girlfriend and she knows the words to Sir Mix-a-Lot and you fall in love with her again because you wasn't expecting it because you're not expecting it. But that's the thing that I'm
Did you
getting at.
karaoke that
is
song, Ashley?
Sing it in my seat.
but that's what it is you search for the things that you don't want in a weird way. If you know what I mean, you want to find those things, and that's the best part about having a genre associated with you and having your favorite type of thing is because when you get there and you get to bust it out, it's like when we was at that thing and I told dude about Black Sabbath's 13th album. He had no idea about it, and he was like, "From you?" I was just rapping for him, and then I brought that up to him, and then he was so infatuated with it that I drank with him all night, and he ended up being a cool dude. You know what I mean? Or you bring up something random, and somebody goes, "Oh, I didn't know. I wouldn't expect." You to
that
so and then it but
That happens to me a lot.
so it's a love hate because she says she joked it off, but it's still a little offensive that somebody's going to guess, this, this, and this.
Right.
But the way the tone is set, it can also make for an interesting meet and greet.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Big joke. Well, it's like,
But that's what it is. Like, people look at Joe
I
all
told
the
you how
time.
easy it would be to rob you.
People look at Joe all the time and assume one thing, and then it ends up being something
It's too
different
fucking
because
big. It's the
he's
other
so broadened with the things that he knows or the things that he likes.
Yeah. Well, it was like,
Lock your doors. People just won't walk in.
I just talked about this earlier too.
hey, it's like, so when you brought up the metal thing, it's like, so when I tell people, like, when I play people with, like, music in my car, people who like metal, and I'll sneak some of my band's music in there, because I'm, like, I'm still low-key, like, want to know what people think about it.
Yeah.
And then, like, they're like, who's this? And I'm like, oh, that's me. And they're like, you don't do that. And I was like, no, that was me. You don't look like you can do that. And it's like,
Yeah, and that's the best. You got to keep
Oh,
the
yeah.
element of surprise. Just a little in there.
she has her toes covered.
If you were white though, and listen to country. If you were Hot Todd, you're
my
like a
God.
fucking god.
I'm genuinely.
By the way,
that scared the shit
we got surprised with Joe to bounce it.
Stefan said plot twist.
The most dramatic entrance I think I've ever seen.
Gotta go outside the
Oh,
pit.
it was just
The most dramatic one was at my house because Joe just like lightly like pushed open the door and he's just standing there with the fucking 40 wrapped in that, just going, "What's up?" And I'm all like, I didn't notice him at first, and I was all like,
Don't lock your doors. I will just walk in.
How do you know without testing? You just
try.
Just
You
try.
walk in with confidence.
Yeah,
guess-
but then if he hits the
so
door
guess
hard, it
what-
still has an element.
So guess what would have happened? The door wouldn't have opened.
I think
you
Joe
know-
hit it hard enough.
And then Joe would have been like, guys, let me in.
Don't smoke in podcast, dude. Some niggas gonna bust in your crib.
Rob your shit.
Oh my god. I know, I thought you were like my neighbor or something, like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Too loud.
that would have been a different route.
Yeah.
If your neighbor came and was like, shut the fuck up, we're like, hey,
Yeah.
we'd have went and podcasted at their house. Told them to shut
Have
the
them
fuck
tied
up.
up. Just make them listen to it all.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, like I'm saying, it's always nice to have a little bit of something. You want to not know something about somebody, even regardless, not like keep a secret or something like that, because then you just a trifling ass bitch or nigga. And you just keep the secrets and shit, and that ain't right. But
Shitty son of a
like
bitch.
the little secrets and stuff that you find out where you go, you know that,
Like when,
and then you go, we're learning something about each other every day.
when
Story
Darius,
of my life.
when Darius would finally come tell me that, he's like, "Oh, dude, I really love Rage Against the Machine." I'm like, "What?" Then that's all I played.
Yeah, it was like we were talking to Stevens, and I told him about went to see the KG Alpha show, and then talked about our favorite rock groups and stuff. And he's like, I'd have never thought that. Like Marky likes Disturbed. Nobody guessed that. Marky named off like 8 songs. Yeah. So it's just, and then like him and Steve were like, oh, they took a shot together. It's like, now you're closer.
Yeah, no, you do.
Somehow.
I was accepted by Darius, and he was like, "Who's your favorite rapper?" And I was like, "Tupac." He was like, "All right, you can stay."
You get the bottle.
Yeah, no, I was over at his house just staying for the first night, and he was all like, "Hey, before we get any further, who's your favorite rapper?" And I was like, "Tupac." And he's like, "All right, we're cool." And then he paused the game, and we came back.
We're slightly better than we were.
Yeah,
Who's your favorite rapper?
Tupac.
I
Weren't you listening?
Darius.
I wasn't saying it for myself.
He was talking.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Mine?
Yeah. Join the conversation.
I think I have a favorite one. I mean, how do you base it?
Oh God, I don't know. Just the
Joe,
answer was just
I mean,
the one.
This is
Well,
where
let me
this
ask
where
you this,
this is
let me
where I
ask
would
you
say
this.
genre would play.
Let me,
Yeah.
No, not even
Or-
genre. Let me ask you this: who's your favorite artist? What's your
Well,
what's your
that's.
what's
But
your-
you're taking that differently.
what's your
That's
genre?
more vague.
what's your genre? That is your favorite.
Well, I don't know. I guess like rock, punk.
Okay, so out of that, who's your favorite artist?
Say anything.
Say anything.
Specifically Matt Venus.
Do you listen to
Yeah.
more of their songs, or do you
The
have more
bipolar
favorite
cokehead.
songs of theirs?
I have more favorite songs of theirs.
Okay. So, if you have to judge it by who my favorite is, I would probably say Bone Thugs.
Okay.
But I don't listen to Bone Thugs.
Right. No, I don't listen to say anything. Like
and
I
if you
have
look-
all this
if you
music.
Go, if you
No
go
say
by
anything right
number, I listen to more Lil Wayne than I do anything else. But then again, Lil Wayne puts out 97 fucking songs a month.
Yeah.
So by proxy, I listen to more of him. So I wouldn't say Lil Wayne's my favorite rapper by any means. It used to be when I was younger. It used to be Ice Cube. Then
choice.
Until his third album.
yeah, well
True.
then Bone Thugs came out when I was in junior high, and it was a fucking rap.
Yeah, Bone Thugs is
Who's
Well,
your
Bone
favorite
Thugs is my
rapper,
top three.
Cassie?
So what's your
Is it-
genre?
Metal.
Okay, so who's your favorite?
Amon Amarth. I like Viking
Judging
metal.
you.
I see.
A little bit of judgment.
I'm just saying though.
but no, it's cool.
Part of the reason though is I saw them live, and they are one of few bands who they sound the exact same on that stage as they do on the album,
It's a game changer.
and it's
Yeah.
it really
I can
is.
Well,
I can
you
name a
know-
few of those for me.
The nice thing about rock is when you go see it in concert, it does sound a lot closer than hip hop. Hip hop sucks live.
Yeah.
I've never
It's
been
terrible.
to.
You gotta have somebody,
show.
they gotta be
I
up
mean,
there. Bone Thugs wasn't bad.
No, Both Thugs wasn't bad, but a lot of it's
But I was
terrible.
I saw the game, which I've told you the story where I had to work that, and that was the worst fucking experience of my life because nobody showed up, and he had 30 people on the stage with him, and wouldn't finish a fucking song. He'd do the first verse and then go to the next one. And I was like,
A lot
your
of
first
people-
verses suck. Just get to the second and third.
A lot of them do it. They'll go to the hook, and then once they hit the hook, they'll switch.
And then you hear that,
song.
I had friends that used to set up for Balor Ballroom, and it was Snowflake and Andy and them, and they told me that when T-Pain came to town, he literally just sang like his like small little hooks in all of like the popular songs, like that was the whole show, like a weird,
Be real with you,
like
though?
a weird
When they
medley
do-
Hey,
of
be
a
real
bunch of
with you, though?
shit.
I would have got down to that concert.
When they do these little off shows, that's usually how they do it. You know who put on the best show was Fat Joe.
Really?
He had maybe 100 people in the concert in the fucking and played the entire time he was supposed to play complete songs. So
See, that's what I would like to experience.
Yeah.
So
Bone
like-
Thugs did too. They did like some hip hop karaoke where they did like Today Was a Good Day by Cube. And
yeah,
it's like,
Yeah.
you got the rights
I
for these,
went.
bro?
So I know you don't like her, but I went and saw Hobson, Jared Benton, and Dizzy Wright. They all performed when Funk Volume was together.
it just sound like everybody you went to high school with. I don't even know what that is. This is my graduating class. Hobbs,
You know Hobbs. You know Hobbs. Dizzy.
Dizzy,
Jared.
Jared. But no, that was they actually did complete songs, so that made it more enjoyable for me.
But I've seen a few rock bands in concert. Probably the best one I've seen was Slipknot. Slipknot was pretty good.
Slipknot does a really good job.
But I seen them when they were on tour with for the first album. So they were
That-
huge.
What's the best concert you've ever been to?
Probably that Slipknot. concert.
Really?
It was Tech to the Earth. So Slipknot and like 30 other fucking bands. So it was a pretty big
It's a
fucking
festival
deal.
at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I haven't
it's
been
a
to a
pretty big
festival
fucking
yet.
deal.
What's your favorite?
My favorite concert? Shit. Mine.
That could
Those
be an
are real
answer.
nigga
No,
answers.
that's a good
Mine,
Humble brag.
I like that.
uh,
Like the best venue then that you played at.
huh?
What was the best venue that you played
Vaudeville Muse.
at? You like
I
that?
like that because it's the
Intimate?
the close environment of it all. The stage is not. The stage is smaller than
Yeah.
that. So I was able to jump on people and shit. That was fun. My favorite, my favorite band, Trivium, was at Woolies, and it was After the Burial.
I've worked quite a few rock concerts,
And Trivium.
but I don't remember who they were. And I think I made a DVD. I had a whole stack of CDs of were they all autographed? I don't remember. I may give them to D. I don't remember. But I've worked a lot of concerts, and like some of their songs were familiar to me, like certain ones, but I don't remember. who the
Have your
fuck they were.
Fat Joe VIP pass.
Yeah.
What's
Fat
your
Joe.
What's your favorite concert, Cassie?
Either the Amon Amarth one I went to, because that was also one of my first times listening to Sabaton, and I've never
Yeah.
seen someone with so much like enthusiasm on stage. Or
Never been to one of mine.
you're right.
I'm pretty enthusiastic on stage.
No matter what we say for our favorite concert, Sam's is better.
I'm
Like-
just gonna keep saying mine's better.
But I mean, it was either
Because
that
mine was kind of turned.
or Corn and Rob
Let's
Zombie.
not get into that.
Corn and Rob Zombie?
Yeah,
Really?
Rob Zombie and I had a moment.
Did you really?
Well, because Chris picked me up on his shoulders
Yeah.
because they were singing Wild Thing, and somehow it was dedicated to all the short girls. And of course, everyone around me is like a foot taller than me, so I can barely see the stage. So I get hoisted up, and he points at me, and I stopped. I'm
girl.
like, I was like, I stopped for a second. I'm like, wait,
I got that.
am I supposed to take off my top? And I panicked for a second. I was like, nah, I know my luck. I'm gonna get a picture taken. It's gonna end up on the internet. And my mom's gonna find it.
You have distinctive tattoos. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, exactly. I can be easily identified once I get naked. And so I was like, nope, not gonna do it. But I got a point from Rob Zombie.
Nice.
But he did put on an awesome show. And it was the last time that John Davis was playing any Korn songs, so that was kind of special too.
I took my homeboy Charlie Luna to the Fat Joe concert, got him in, and that nigga looked just like Fat Joe.
Yeah.
He looked just like me. I was on stage, and Charlie was right
lost him.
there,
How he was rapping.
and the same thing happened. He was like, he did just like this. He was like rapping, was like, "Hey man, I see you, nigga." Charlie was like,
Charlie just doing the lean back.
Ashley.
Theirs?
Oh.
Oh. Ashley, your favorite concert?
My favorite concert?
Yeah.
That's a hard one. I'd probably just say my first Incubus.
Oh, that show.
concert.
Nice.
Incubus was dope.
It was amazing. I was in 7th grade.
So it was your first time experimenting with pot.
No. I don't
Yeah,
do
you're-
that.
I don't do that.
And my sister took me and my best friend, and it was awesome. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And he got like practically naked on stage, so it was pretty
I
dope.
believe it. He's like,
So you were
he's like
high
scary
and there was a
skinny though.
man
Yeah.
naked?
Is he like
Yeah.
super, super skinny?
Yes,
Like-
and pale. But he's like way
He's-
skinnier
he's
now
like-
than he used to
Was
be.
he bigger than me?
Give me a comparison.
Not at all.
I got your Incubus.
But no, it was an amazing show. It was really good.
Darius, what's your favorite show you've ever been to?
Probably, I want to say Cage the Elephant, but...
They were fucking
They were
great,
fucking
dude.
good.
They were
They were
so
really
like
You
the
guys were
vibe in
there,
that
we got-
building.
it's my turn. You guys were there, but
Mine's
there's just
close
something
second.
about Joe grabbing up a small white dude and telling him to stand over there and enjoy the show at Bone Thugs that makes you appreciate the concert a little bit more better. So it was probably Bone Thugs, just because I knew like all the songs.
What makes it
Cage the
different?
Elephant was like a refreshing concert to go to,
It
because then
makes
I
a
downloaded
difference.
100 fucking songs when I got home and I respected them. But Bone Thugs, I just knew everything.
Yeah, it makes a difference when you know everything
Yeah, I
and you
think
go
it's
there,
more
and then they
fun.
perform
Absolutely.
it, and they perform it well.
Yeah.
That makes because then you already have an expectation set.
I just do like the black guy hand up.
So,
I'm like watching some dude full fledged dance next to me, like dancing, and I'm just like,
That's
stop.
the best part. Is like watching people like
You
half
can't
dance
dance
in
to
the
fucking
back.
Down
Like,
71 Getaway. I'm telling you right now. There's no dancing to that song, and this dude was fucking dancing.
I always like the
I would've
camaraderie
danced.
that you see in the beginning of mosh pits. Like when I was at Rob Zombie, some guys like try like the pit is like right over here, and we were right next to him. He's like, "Excuse me, ma'am, pardon me, just coming through," and then he just starts thrashing the minute he gets in there. I'm like, "Oh, he's so nice."
my first experience with mosh pits was kind of weird. Me and my ex girlfriend Amanda was standing there watching. Who's that band with the black guy with dreads?
Seven Dust.
Seven Dust. Watching Seven Dust.
I was like,
And
Wow, Sam.
so
Shout
you
out.
feel this. You feel people lean up against
I'm the
you.
man.
Feel people lean up against you, behind you, and then you just feel nothing. And I was like, I look behind me, and they're just goose stepping around, fucking. And I was like, all right, babe, we gotta move.
It gets a lot crazier now because now there's hardcore dancing.
Oh, that was pretty hardcore. What they were doing. They were hurting each
I
other.
seen everybody holding their fist out so,
So-
they wouldn't bump into him, and I just had my arms crossed. She was like, bump me, I'm sticking you. So-
like the
Darius is standing in
pinwheel
front-
now. Like,
Darius
they,
is-
like go like this, coming at you. You're like, what are you
It's
doing?
not
You're
that.
like,
God
stop.
damn
It's
it.
getting in there.
And see, like, there's such a.
I know. I hardcore dance at shows, and I'm telling you right now, I just don't sit there going, oh!
Wacky inflatable arm feeling too much.
I'm the inner tube guy in front of a car lot.
Hey man, that guy's got some great moves.
So, no.
Sick.
No,
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Alright, so we gotta go to part 2. But
Yeah, lead us out.
lead us out. All right. God damn it, so much pressure.
The other get like sweaty and nervous. I know,
15
right?
seconds now.
I don't
Go,
really
go,
do
go,
that
go.
because I'm famous.
Part 2. There's gonna be a part 2. I
So
panicked.
Julia said it's gonna be part 2. Everybody's listening. Thank you. Probably do a little quick smoke break for these.
Yeah, keep your
Yes.
comments coming.
Yeah, keep them coming. We enjoy that.
Stefan, Jimmy, Joe the Bouncer, who's here and commenting.
That's all I can
we all
see.